If you want to live and work legally in the United States, the H-1B visa might be your most powerful option. Every single year, hundreds of thousands of skilled professionals from around the world apply for the H-1B visa. Engineers, doctors, software developers, financial analysts. The H-1B is the gateway that brings the best talent in the world to America. But in 2026, the H-1B program has never been more complicated. New rules, new fees, legal battles, and major changes have turned this visa into one of the most discussed topics in U.S. immigration. In this video, I am going to break down everything you need to know about the H-1B visa in 2026. What it is, who qualifies, how to apply, what changed, and the biggest mistakes that get applications rejected. Stay until the end because I will reveal the one thing most applicants get wrong that destroys their entire case. Let's get into it. First, what exactly is the H-1B visa? The H-1B is a non-immigrant work visa that allows U.S. employers to temporarily hire foreign workers in specialty occupations. A specialty occupation is a job that requires at least a bachelor's degree or the equivalent in a specific field. The H-1B visa is sponsored by your employer, meaning you cannot apply for it yourself. A U.S. company must want to hire you and be willing to go through the entire application process on your behalf. Once approved, the H-1B visa is valid for 3 years and can be extended for another 3 years, giving you a total of 6 years of authorized work in the United States. During those 6 years, many H-1B holders also apply for a green card, making the H-1B not just a work visa, but the first step toward permanent residency in America. Now, who actually qualifies for the H-1B visa? There are 2 main requirements you must meet. Requirement number 1, you need a job offer from a U.S. employer. You cannot walk into a U.S. embassy and ask for an H-1B visa. An American company must sponsor you. They must file a petition on your behalf with USCIS, the U.S. Citizenship and Immigration Services. This means your first step is always finding a U.S. employer willing to sponsor you. This can be through job applications, LinkedIn, recruiting agencies, or through a transfer from a multinational company that has offices in both your country and the United States. Requirement number 2, your job must qualify as a specialty occupation. The most common H-1B jobs include software engineers and developers, data scientists and AI researchers, financial analysts and accountants, doctors and medical professionals, architects and civil engineers, college professors and researchers, and marketing managers and business analysts. If your job requires a specific bachelor's degree or higher, there is a very good chance it qualifies for the H-1B. Now here is something very important that many people do not realize. The H-1B visa has an annual cap. The U.S. government only issues 85,000 new H-1B visas every single year. 65,000 go to the general pool, and 20,000 are reserved for people who have a U.S. master's degree or higher. Because demand is so much higher than supply, USCIS uses a random lottery system to select who gets to apply. In recent years, the lottery has been extremely competitive. In 2025, over 470,000 applications were submitted for just 85,000 spots. This means even if you are perfectly qualified, you might not get selected simply because of bad luck in the lottery. So what happens if you are not selected? You can try again next year. Or your employer can look at alternative visa options like the O-1 visa for extraordinary ability, the L-1 visa for intra-company transfers, or the TN visa if you are from Canada or Mexico. Now let's talk about what changed in 2026, because this is the part that affects everyone. In early 2026, the Trump administration attempted to impose a fee of $100,000 on every new H-1B petition. This was designed to make it much harder for companies to hire foreign workers. However, on June 8, 2026, a federal judge declared this rule illegal and blocked it from taking effect. This means, as of today, the standard H-1B filing fees remain in place. But the legal battle is not over. This rule could be appealed, and the situation may change again in the coming months. This is exactly why staying informed about H-1B news in 2026 is absolutely critical if you are planning to apply. Now, let's walk through the step-by-step process to apply for the H-1B visa. Step 1. Find a U.S. employer willing to sponsor you. This is the hardest step for most people. Not every U.S. company sponsors H-1B visas. Large tech companies like Google, Amazon, Microsoft, Apple, and Meta sponsor thousands of H-1B workers every year. Mid-size companies and startups are also options, but they may be less familiar with the process. When applying for jobs in the U.S., always check if the company is an H-1B sponsor. Websites like h1bdata.us and myvisajobs.com show you which companies have sponsored H-1B visas in the past. This is public information you can use to target your job search. Step 2. Your employer files a labor condition application. Before filing anything with USCIS, your employer must first file what is called a Labor Condition Application, or LCA, with the U.S. Department of Labor. This document certifies that your employer will pay you at least the prevailing wage for your position in your location. This protection exists to make sure companies are not using H-1B workers to undercut American workers' salaries. The LCA must be certified before the H-1B petition can be filed. Step 3. Your employer files Form I-129 with USCIS. Once the LCA is approved, your employer files Form I-129, the petition for a non-immigrant worker, with USCIS, along with supporting documents including your educational credentials, your job offer letter, the approved LCA, and proof that your position qualifies as a specialty occupation. Step 4. Enter the H-1B lottery. If you are applying for a new H-1B cap subject visa, your petition enters the annual lottery. USCIS randomly selects 85,000 registrations from the total pool. The lottery registration period typically opens in March each year. Results are announced within a few weeks. If you are selected, your employer can then file the full petition. If you are not selected, you must wait and try again the following year. Step 5. Wait for USCIS to process your petition. Once selected and the full petition is filed, USCIS reviews it. Standard processing can take 3 to 6 months. However, your employer can pay for premium processing, which guarantees a decision within 15 business days. If USCIS needs more information, they will send a request for evidence. Your employer and their attorney must respond to this request completely and on time, or your petition will be denied. Step 6. Receive your visa and enter the United States. If your petition is approved and you are outside the United States, you will attend a visa interview at a U.S. embassy or consulate in your home country. Bring all your documents, your approval notice, and your job offer letter. Once your visa is stamped in your passport, you can enter the United States and begin working for your sponsoring employer on October 1st, the official start date for new H-1B workers each year. Now let's talk about costs. The H-1B visa involves several fees. Most of these are paid by your employer, but it is important to understand them. The base filing fee for Form I-129 is $780. There is also a fraud prevention and detection fee of $500. Most employers also pay an ACWIA training fee of either $750 or $1,500 depending on company size. Premium processing, if your employer chooses it, costs an additional $2,805. Total costs typically range from $2,000 to $5,000 per petition, paid by the employer. U.S. law prohibits employers from making H-1B workers pay most of these fees themselves. Now, the biggest mistakes that destroy H-1B applications. Mistake number 1. Choosing the wrong employer. If your sponsoring employer goes out of business, lays you off, or withdraws the petition, your H-1B status ends. Always research your employer carefully before depending on them for your immigration status. Mistake number 2. Gaps in employment. If you lose your H-1B job, you have a grace period of just 60 days to find a new employer to transfer your H-1B, change to another visa status, or leave the United States. Missing this window puts you out of status immediately. Mistake number 3. Traveling outside the U.S. without the right documents. If your H-1B petition is pending, or if your visa stamp has expired, traveling outside the U.S. can create serious problems. Always consult your immigration attorney before any international travel. Mistake number 4. Not keeping copies of everything. Your I-797 approval notice is the most important document you have as an H-1B holder. Keep multiple copies. Keep digital copies. This document proves your legal status in the United States. Mistake number 5. Assuming your employer is handling everything correctly. Even with a good employer and a good attorney, mistakes happen. Stay informed about your own case. Know your petition receipt number. Track your case status on the USCIS website. Your immigration status is your responsibility. The H-1B visa in 2026 is more competitive than ever, but for the right candidate with the right employer, it remains one of the most powerful pathways to building a life in the United States. Let me recap the key points. Number 1. The H-1B is sponsored by your employer. You cannot apply alone. Number 2. Your job must qualify as a specialty occupation requiring a degree. Number 3. Only 85,000 visas are issued per year through a random lottery. Number 4. The application process starts with an LCA, then Form I-129, then the lottery. Number 5. If selected, USCIS processes your petition and you can start work on October 1st. Number 6. Avoid the 5 critical mistakes that destroy H-1B cases. If this video helped you understand the H-1B process, please hit the like button. It helps Immigration Layer reach more people who need this information. Drop your questions in the comments below. I read every single one. Subscribe for more U.S. immigration guides. Next week, we are covering how to become a U.S. citizen and everything you need to know about the naturalization process. See you in the next video.